This is Reality Dispatch, written by Jim Mintz.
The ground opened up and water began to seep through the dirt, enough to make an entire harbor. What was once a single country, a single jurisdiction, became two. Neighbors became enemies. I don't remember who shot first. Maybe it was us. Somewhere along the line, they sent over a small militia that caused untold terrors. We struck back. Then they retaliated. Then we sent up missiles, and they responded with torpedoes. At one point, there was an air, sea, and land war happening all at once. Neither side could strike a killer blow. There were peace talks, always peace talks, but they never went anywhere. They always failed at the last minute, some diplomatic bullshit. The worst was when the United States idiot-in-chief would get involved. Every 4 years or so, some self-proclaimed kingmaker would come along, promise the world, and deliver a sweet round donut. Nothing to write home about. The last one came to the demilitarized zone when I was on duty. He seemed like a nice guy, misguided, an ivory tower general. Wouldn't know a war if one came along and bit him in the ass, but nice enough. I remember he shook my hand, weak handshake. I've thought negatively of him ever since. I was on DMZ duty a lot these days. I'd been written up for insubordination 3 months ago. I told my commanding officer to go fuck himself, and I did it in front of the new recruits. They laughed. He didn't. That wasn't the only consequence. I got a concussion for my troubles. Spent 3 days in hospital, the first in a coma. I was told I deserved it. I don't have an opinion. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I sit here most days reading. There's a visitor center for all the navel-gazing tourists who stop by and want to see what a real neighbor-on-neighbor conflict looks like. I read through all the history and notable conflicts, all that bullshit. I was surprised to see that I was born the year this shit all started. I guess this has been a lifetime's worth of evil. Ain't that something? We had recliner chairs installed without telling the executive. A week ago, they found out and had them all removed. Said we looked like a bunch of hillbillies watching the slaves on our plantations. I guess we did look kind of stupid to the enemy from afar. What the hell were they going to do anyway? We landmined the no-man's land between us and them. They couldn't do shit to us even if they found us lazy, incompetent, and a joke. Which we were. None of us took our role seriously. How could we? I was born into war. I'll probably die in wartime. You want me on point 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, forever and ever. Amen? I was reading a manual with Nick and Luca. We were on guard. It was our job to stand at attention along the blue wall. Think the King's Guard of London, only we could move around, scratch our ears, pick our noses, that kind of thing. Anyway, I was reading. Nick was scratching his behind. I don't remember what the hell Luca was doing. Then a ping went off overhead, right in the middle, where Nick was standing. "What the hell was that?" he screamed. We looked up and saw the unmistakable imprint of a bullet hole in the concrete. The West was firing at us. The bastards. "A warning shot?" I asked. Because why fire a single one? If they wanted to take us out, wouldn't it be with a series of shots? It was technically a declaration of war, though we were already at war. The only reason it had been quiet lately was because of the latest ceasefire talks. Always with the ceasefire talks. "Maybe they're just having a laugh," said Nick. "Well, let's have a laugh back," said Luca. We watched as he pulled out his rifle, loaded the magazine, and aimed his eyepiece toward the counter building 3 clicks west. "What are they doing?" I asked. "They're just standing there," he said. "In position," I wondered. "No," he said. "They're at ease." "Did they fire at us?" Nick asked. "Well, if not them, who the hell was it?" Luca said. He began to fire. Not once. Not a warning. A full burst of rapid-fire, high-impact, armor-piercing rounds, one after another. Just popping them off like his life depended on it, although you should have seen his face. Calm, like a baby farting in the bathtub, not a care in the world, almost a hint of a smile. He only stopped when the mag went dry. "What the fuck are you laughing at, dude?" I asked. He lowered the weapon, looking off toward the destruction he had just authored. "I think we got a Kurtz on our hands," Nick said. I gave him a look, clearly confused. "Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad. You ever read the book?" he asked me. "No, never heard of it," I said. Then Luca began to recite over and over again, still staring out at the building he'd just riddled with bullets. "The horror, the horror, the horror," he said. Nick loaded his rifle and started doing exactly what Luca just finished. He opened fire on the western DMZ. Didn't stop until the mag was empty. He was panting and smiling, just like Luca. I picked up my scope and used it to get a better vantage of our opponents. They had scattered. From what I could see, the wall was empty now, but littered with bullet holes. No one was standing guard. I thought I saw a figure on the floor. Maybe it was a body, maybe not. No way to know for sure. The horror, Nick started to say. I realized I hadn't been stationed with these two before today. I mistook them for some guys I did basic training with 5 years ago. They looked just like my old unit buddies. I forget their names. Maybe if I'd remembered, I could have asked for another posting. But I knew this was punishment. This station was for the dregs, where good soldiers go to die or lose their minds. "You try," Nick said to me. I looked at Luca, who had turned his gaze to me. I realized they weren't asking. They were performing an initiation, a hazing. They expected me to fire on the enemy. Normally I wouldn't bat an eyelid, but this seemed unfair. "They're not firing at us," I said. They didn't respond. They just stared. I knew they wouldn't stop staring unless I fired at the unsuspecting West. Then Luca turned his weapon on me, barrel to my chest. That was what they were offering. Join them or die. My gun was the only one loaded, locked, and ready for action. Lucky for me, and unlucky for my colleagues, I remembered that crucial detail before they did.
For more stories of fact-based fiction, head to jimmins.substack.com.